What's going on, Walking Dead family? Welcome back to the channel. This is my review and breakdown for The Walking Dead World Beyond Season 2, Episode 9. And next week, this series is finito. It is done. And I have seen the series finale. Don't worry, no spoilers in this video, but it's insane. It opens up the Walking Dead universe, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts next week. But into this episode, Dr. Leo Bennett had a plan to have the serum thinking that they were escaping through the mines, but actually, it was a trick. Dr. Leo Bennett put the test subjects, who are now walkers, down to the mines. The serum soldiers go down there thinking they're going to come across the group, but they actually come across walkers with explosives attached to them. And then Dr. Leo Bennett sets them off, and these serum soldiers are killed. This was brilliantly done. Very smart from Dr. Leo Bennett. And you're messing with scientists here. And the serum are pretty strong, but these guys are doctors, they're scientists, they're brainiacs. And if you're going to mess with them, you're going to have to be very, very careful. And Dr. Leo Bennett is a character that I really, really like. And I would love to see him return in future seasons of whatever show, because the actor, in fairness to him, is very strong. And I think Pollyanna McIntosh, who plays Jadis, and Dr. Leo Bennett have been standouts this season for me. Absolutely have. But the group has this plan. They want armoured trucks from Jadis. And Jadis is like, no way. Well, Jadis, we have General Beale's son. And Jadis is absolutely so annoyed, but also scared of this because, General Beale is high in command. He's a scary dude. And if he found out that his son was captured or killed, he would kill everybody in sight, including Jadis. So Jadis needs to get him back. So she gives the group these two armored trucks to escape in, but of course there's always kind of a second kind of plan from Jadis when trying to deal with this group. Dennis, of course, was shot last week. They have to pull a bullet out of his body. It's a pretty gruesome shot of Elton going into his body with the pliers or whatever it is to take the bullet out. Then the armoured trucks are ready, and Felix goes to have a look and see is everything safe. And this serum soldier kind of have a confrontation together. Felix says he'll kill him, stuff like that. But the serum are just pretty cool. Those guys in the costumes are awesome. And then we have Dr. Leo Bennett right here, talking to his family, which is Felix, about, he wants his family to be safe, but they think this is the right thing. They have to do this for other people as well, because what the serum is doing is just plain evil. Silas and Elton are leading zombies to the research facility towards the CRM. Then we had a sweet moment between Iris and Percy, of course, our love interests for each other. Then we had Felix and Hope, who are going to either damage this gas that the CRM has created or use it for themselves against the CRM. But they go to this location. Of course, there's some frozen zombies there. And I like this because, Felix wasn't able to kill this zombie straight away because it was frozen, so it took him a few goes to kill it. So that's pretty cool, something we haven't seen before. And Hope has difficulty killing Lila, who's a zombie, and she basically says, F this place, But they go to get the gas, and the gas has been moved. The CRM knew that they were going to go and try and get this gas, damage it, or use them for themselves, so they moved it, which was pretty interesting and smart from Jadis' point of view. Then we have Silas and Elton go to this medical facility to get some medicine for Dennis, who is badly injured and he needs it. And then one of the guys that Silas worked with in kind of the outpost where they got rid of all the zombies with the music, he has him at gunpoint, and he's been brainwashed, of course, by the CRM, and he's a soldier now. He was called up because the CRM is under attack. Elton's able to help him, knocks out the guy. They go into this room, the guy gets up, and walkers just eat him. So we get to see the blood, of course, go underneath the door, which is a very scary shot. But the place is surrounded by walkers, so they have to come up with a plan to escape the CRM. And they get into the big globe, which we've seen throughout this season, which I think Indira made because she was an artist. She made it for the CRM. And so they get into this, and they just roll down this hill, taking down walkers. Now, it's a little bit cheesy. It's a little bit stupid. But you know what? I loved it. It's pretty funny. It made me laugh out loud. Not in like a bad way. I just found it very funny that the guys thought of this. And it was actually very smart, and it worked. But the big kind of climatic moment for this episode was the face-off. The group is going to the armoured trucks. They still have General Beale's son as kind of like bait, but also kind of like leverage against the CRM. Jadis shows up, of course, with the CRM soldiers, and this big face-off happens. And there's walkers, of course, coming towards the facility. So they have to think fast. They have to act fast in this as well. And you have kind of an exchange of words. Hope and Iris are saying to Jadis, you killed thousands of people. This is genocide. And Jadis is basically waiting for them to make a decision because the walkers are coming. She's like, let's see who blinks first, which was awesome from Jadis. Terrific acting here as well. And Iris is trying to get it across to her, you covered up a genocide. Why would you do something like this? You killed thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. And Jadis kind of gives the Thanos Infinity War Endgame speech about, well, the CRM was providing for these communities, Omaha, Portland, the campus colony, and our research told us that it wouldn't last forever. So basically what Jadis is saying is that they provide food, medical equipment, weapons to these communities, and as time would go on, it could be 10 years, 15 years, but down the line, this would cause problems. There wouldn't be enough resources left to provide to these companies. So the CRM government and the CRM military are very different from each other, and the military took it upon themselves to wipe out these communities and pretend that they are under attack to save themselves from a famine down the line in terms of not just food but resources, with weapons, with everything. And this is what the CRM military is doing, and that's why there's a civil kind of war right now between the CRM military and the government, which is so interesting. So much politics going on, and that's exactly what the CRM military is doing, wiping out these communities so they can just cater to themselves, keep the important people within the CRM government and military, which is just pretty insane, but also in a way kind of makes sense in this zombie apocalypse world. But General Beale's son is able to escape from the grasp of Percy, and then this big showdown happens, and Percy gets shot in the back of the head trying to run after General Beale's son to get him back. Very sad moment, and it just kind of happened. The editing for this scene was a little bit weird because we got no kind of, oh, he's dead. It just kind of happened. There was no kind of emotion from Percy whatsoever. He was just shot, but also in a way it's pretty realistic in terms of, would you get time to put your emotions out there before you got shot? He just got shot, and it was done. Then we have Hope going to kill General Beale's son for causing this grief towards her sister and the death of Percy, but Iris steps in and tells her not to do it. Hook is able to turn on the CRM and Jadis is like, oh, okay, so your mother was right. Your head has been turned. So I love that sequence right there. And Iris is able to convince Hope not to kill him, because even though she has lost the love of her life, she doesn't want the guy or the person responsible for it dead. She doesn't. She just wants to move on and just get this all done. But Jadis, of course, is able to give Hook some time because the two of them do have a relationship. Hook did train Jadis when she came to the CRM, so Jadis is like, I'll give you 2 minutes. And Jadis is able to take out some of the walkers and save General Beale's son, which is very important to her, but she's also pissed off because Hook turned. Hook is able to drive away. She kind of cries as well because Jadis was kind of her friend. But this whole sequence was pretty cool. A really good shootout sequence between the CRM and, Iris, Hope, Felix. So yeah, I think it was done pretty well. It's just the editing for Percy's death was a little bit strange in how it happened, but I'll forgive it because the episode as a whole was pretty good. I did like this sequence. But we have Dennis and we have Hook, reunited. Hook, of course, crying because her husband is badly injured. Elton and Silas, of course, need to bring the medical equipment to him to kind of save his life if he's going to stay alive. But the group is reunited. The four of them, the group who went on this journey in season 1 and now have come this far, taking on this mission for Portland, to save Portland. They've already lost Omaha and the campus colony and to really go against the CRM. But the gas that the CRM was able to move away from Hope and Felix finding it, Hook has found it. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they use this next week. Will they use it against the CRM? Will they get rid of it? Will they damage it so the CRM can't use it on Portland? What exactly is going to happen in next week's episode? But that was basically the big cliffhanger for this episode. The group, or Hook, now knows where this gas is, and they'll probably use it in next week's episode in some capacity. But episode 9, 1 episode to go. This is a pretty solid episode. This season has been pretty good, I think. And I think the introduction of Jadis, Dr. Leo Bennett, Elizabeth, Hook's mother, Hook as an actress as well, they've all been very, very good this second half of this story, season 2. And they've made it very, very interesting. We've got more depth to this CRM, which is interesting in its own right. But going into next week's episode, the series finale, it will not have a season 3. It will have to wrap up a lot of storylines. I'm sure a lot of characters will die, but it'll also need to set up maybe the Rick Grimes movies. But guys, did you like this episode? Let me know below. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Come follow me on all my social media, Movies That Matter. One episode to go. Make sure you subscribe so we can talk about next week's series finale, which, guys, is insane. Especially the end sequence. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching.